Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we are born and reborn and transform all on this journey to live a life that makes us proud. Yes, make you proud. Hi, my name is Natasha, and I am so grateful to be here today. Today, for me in my real life here, is day 11 post-op. And I really feel like these last few days, I've turned a corner. I had a big cry yesterday, like a big 3 hour, I think it was yesterday, perhaps it was the day before. I don't know. It was recently. And I kind of just let it all out. It was this pity party in a sense. It was this release of everything that had compounded and transpired in me. And I just cried it out, snotted it out, tore some stitches it out, like I just released. And from that moment on, it was like, okay, now let's go time. And, I'm one of those people that I like to give myself personal challenges. I'm not super competitive, but again, I like to live by what I teach. Yeah, there's times I'm not perfect, right? Like I don't always have patience. I know patience is power. I know at the times I exhibit patience, it's powerful, but it's not in my default setting. It is definitely a left-handed trait that I'm trying to improve upon it and get better with. Because that's a part of my day-to-day life going forward in this newer, more informed, more evolved, more transformed version of myself. We are always growing. Like our growing doesn't stop with our physical height or our width. Our growing doesn't stop when we graduate high school or college. We are learning and growing every day. And there are lessons all around us the entire way. And so for me, today was all about being that 1% better. I don't know mathematics so well, I'm gonna admit it, but I yesterday was able to accomplish 4,000 steps. That's huge. I was so excited. I did 10 minutes straight. I was huffing and puffing, let me tell you. My heart rate was up there, but I did it. And when I was done, I felt so good, and I went slow. I wasn't doing a speed walk, let me tell you. It was I'm walking hunched over still, and I'm trying to sit more erect and I'm trying to improve my posture while walking. It's just gonna take some time. And the more I move, the more natural it will become. It's just a little painful now, right? Like just when we start working out and things like that, there's pain, and that's part of the process. And not in a pain in a bad way, but it hurts, right? Like everything is stiff and I just want to sit down and I'm breathing hard and it's uncomfortable, but I push through and I can get through it. And I tell myself, look how proud I am of you. And so today's goal was 500 steps or 5,000 steps. And not only that, like I was like, you know what? My son has to go to PT. I'm going to go up the stairs into the office with him. And I did. And I sat there for 45 minutes as he had his session. And then I walked back down the stairs. And then my car kept screaming at me because it needed oil. And I was like, listen, I don't have time to blow an engine right now. I'm going to head off. So I went to the oil change place, which luckily you can sit in a car. I've never seen the place so busy. There was like 12 cars ahead of me. And so I was like, okay, well, we're going to be in the car. And the car is actually one of the most uncomfortable places for me at this moment. But I was sitting with my 17-year-old son. I then was like, you know what? Chris is going to be at a concert tonight. I'm not cooking for sure. We're definitely not at the cooking stage. And even when I get to the cooking stage, I'm not going to be able to cook for a little while, right? Shh, don't tell. It was so great because I had him so he could open the doors. Like opening a door, I can't open doors. Like heavy doors, I just can't do it. It rips and it pulls. I mean, picking up things that are, within this certain range, I can pick up. Like in light things, but I can't bend and pick up things. So there's a lot of limitations still, but I'm adapting and doing what I can within my limitations. And at the same time, pushing my little limitation 1% more than it was the day before. So I set this goal to do 5,000, and then I said, no, it's okay. I can do 4,500 today. But, because I've broken it up so many times, I'm now at like 43,000 steps, 43,000. Listen, 4,300. I'm not 43 and I'm not doing 50,000. It's 5,000. My apologies. Holy smokes. That would be a full day of walking nonstop. I don't know what I would have to do, but I'm not there. But no, 4,300 steps and I have 5,000 to go. And I say this all because after I realized like I'm getting all this swelling, like I'm constantly swollen, all like in a space where I never was swollen before. So I'm not used to feeling heavy and full there. So like I don't have the hanging skin sitting on my lap, but I have all this fullness up here and I just feel like I'm about to pop, which is a lot to deal with. So I'm like constantly, not constantly, but you know, pretty frequently, like kind of just giving that part of the belly a rub, like release whatever you're full of. Like it's gonna be okay. Get out of here. I don't need you anymore. And so I'm trying to get rid of all the swelling so I feel comfortable. And what I realized is because I'm one of those people that intermittent fast, and because I'm one of those people that then became kind of like a one meal a day, or I eat large amounts in one sitting. I can't do that right now. And it's more beneficial for me and my body to eat smaller more often. So that was kind of the adjustment I made today so that I didn't feel torturous, because let me tell you, with all these iron pills, constipation is a thing. And like this morning, it was like after going to the bathroom and sitting in there for like an hour, I needed to take a full-on nap. And I'm not being dramatic. Like it was like lights out, texts came, people came down the stairs, didn't even hear a thing. Like nighty night nap until I had to go take Tyler to PT. And my alarms started going off. So I'm really trying to adapt and listen to my body. And so one of the most exciting thing is I had steps to do. And so I did it. I did a few steps, and then I was like, okay, I'll like make these benchmarks. Like I'll do 500 steps and then I can sit down and eat. So that I kind of like things are moving before I'm even sitting, and then sit and then do maybe 500 more after. But afterwards, I felt so alive. Like I felt really rejuvenated, and I had this idea. I'm going to put on the TV and I'm going to go back to where I started. I started my physical weight loss journey taking walks. I started my physical weight loss journey watching YouTubes. And there was something for me about music and movement that are so harmonious and beautiful together, which is why I love my dance fitness classes. It doesn't feel like a workout. So when I was walking in here and doing the 500 steps, I was being so aware of every movement, every ache, every pain, every glute squeeze, it was like a job. And what I miss most in these last 11, 12 days is working out where it didn't feel like a job. It just felt fun, where fitness was fun. So I put on where I started. I went onto YouTube and I was like in bed yoga, in bed dancing, like, you know, just basic things that would allow me to do it. And I came up with this gentleman, and I remembered him from when I started, and he just does these walking like step things, and he has a step count to music and little like dance moves and stuff like that. And he's like, you know, I'm not a, you know, certified dancer or teacher or anything. I'm just moving to this thing. And it was so freaking fun. I just had Bruno Mars on, and I was able to move my body as best as I could. There were certain moves that I was like, not going to try it, but it felt so good. I felt alive again. And it gave me this hope. And it was this beautiful full circle moment from where I began. And I had that heavy belly hanging and slapping against my thighs with every movement. And I would tell the kids, do not come downstairs. You will see things jiggling on mom that you don't want to see. And that was even in the spandex and all the things that could hold it in. No, and it would make noise, and it would slap and all those things. It was just my belly hanging and doing that. And now girl is gone. Yeah, she's swollen, but nothing was slapping on anything. So I had to throttle myself to make sure I don't tear a stitch or something like that, or overdo it too much. But there's something about feeding your soul. You know, I say this all along. To me, any type of healing encompasses the basics. And the basics are this. This could be for a mental healing, a physical healing, a spiritual healing, whatever healing it is. These are the critical factors. Your physical healing, your mental healing, the emotional healing, your spiritual healing. And it's all in this dream to live, this pursuit to live this dream of making yourself proud, of living a life that you are writing. Like, you are the master. You're the script writer. You are the rule maker. This is your game of life. And we forget it so many times because we are playing by the rules of somebody else. But these are your rules. And yeah, a doctor may say they know what's best for me, but I may say I also know what's good for me too. And now I haven't been, like, he, was joking around. He's like, are we doing Zumba yet? I'm like, not quite yet, but soon. And, I'm moving around, and it may not be a full Zumba. It may not be my full mixed fit class, or it may not be my LeBlas class, but I freaking moved. I moved, and I felt so good doing it. I felt alive, and I didn't have to do it in a long time. I did 8 minutes. That felt like a long time. And those 1,000 steps I got in those 8 minutes felt like I was on a cloud. It didn't feel like I was doing it. So when you find things you love to do, you get in that place of flow. And when you're in flow, everything just goes. And you don't even realize how enamored, how engrossed you become in whatever activities it is you're doing. And it's like time doesn't exist. Like for me, it was like steps don't even exist. So I was like, okay, I don't want to push it, even though I'm like, let's do more. I'm like, Natasha, I know you're going to poop yourself out, and then you're going to set yourself back tomorrow, and you're not going to be able to move. You haven't done a whole heck of a lot. Let's just take it slow. So I said, okay, here, we'll do the one song. We'll sit down and we'll film. After my filming, I'll do one more song. I'll finish up my steps. I'll wait till Chris gets home, take my nice warm shower, get my belly all lubed up, give me my little massages, and, enjoy this part of the process. It's not an enjoyable part, but there is so much joy in it, right? It's like, one of the things I love about kids, especially toddlers and newborns and infants and things like that, is you get to experience the world all over again, but through their eyes. So like, when you're with an infant, one of my babies or somebody else's baby, and they're, just looking at their hand, and it's amazing. It's miraculous. You're so grateful for this weird thing that's somehow touched me, and I'm bonking myself in the head with it. And then that's funny, or it startles me and I cry. This experience has been a rebirth. I get to experience everything that I have overcome, every ache, every pain, every fear. I get to experience it all again, but with all the wisdom and all the tools I've already gained to know that I'll get through this. When I went through this journey the first time, I wasn't sure. I didn't document it extensively. I didn't get rid of the clothes as soon as I didn't fit them. Why? I didn't believe in me. I didn't have the confidence. There was no reason I should. There was no proof that I could do this. There was no proof around me of anyone that had done it the way I am. And there's nothing wrong. Like, let me repeat that. There is nothing wrong if you do any type of surgical intervention, or if you have medical, special medications or specialized diets. I, number one, am frugal. I do not want to spend the money. Number two, I do not want to depend on anybody or anything, because I've learned in my life, people and things are not dependable. And so if I put all my chips in that basket and that basket disappears, what is left? And so for me personally, doing this journey from the inside out, figuring out who I am, giving myself grace, turning from my biggest bully until my biggest believer, that's been the beautifulest part of this journey. And it's not always easy. There's self-doubts. I look at it and I can compare and see people on the Facebook groups, and they're out running around and they're in bikinis and they're taking pictures and they're posting their things, and they don't look as swollen as I do, and they're up to 10,000, 15,000 steps, and they had the surgery the same day as me. But I'm not them. And they're not me. And we're not you. We're here all living our own journeys and doing this at our own pace. And what is so beautiful is to go back. Like I said, I shed a tear that even in a post-operative, day 11 post-operative state, in which 4,000 was my max steps yesterday, and that was pushing it, in which I am highly anemic right now, in which my freaking stomach, abdomen is sliced from hip to hip. I've got binder. I've got 2 drains draining bodily fluids out of my body. And I was still able to move with more confidence and ease than I was when I began that journey. And so I again think back to the picture, which I don't have her near me now, but I keep her in that phone, that version of me who said, enough is enough. No more one day. Today is day 1. And the same goes for the girl who went to surgery 12 days ago and didn't chicken out. It wasn't an easy journey, but I've learned so much. Like I said, people believe what they want to believe. I know what happened, and it was not the anesthesia. It was not the anesthesia. Listen, I barely even take any of those freaking meds. I barely took. I haven't even taken a single one since a few days before I left home. But that's not what happened there. I know what happened, but it's crazy. I experienced that, and so I'm really proud of the girl that had the courage to actually go through with it, because I no longer need to be held back by the choices of me 15, 20, 30 years ago and on between. I'm able to freely be me, and I'm not able to freely move in the way I want to move, but I am freely able to move in the ways in which I can now. And so can you. I love to share these stories. How can you go back to your beginning? You don't need a surgery, and I don't need a surgery. It was a beautiful, beautiful reminder that sometimes we need to go back in order to see how far we've come. We oftentimes are numbers people. We get caught on the scale. We get caught on the goal. And those are great. Like, these benchmarks are important, but they're not everything, which is why for me, throwing away the scale was the second best gift I could have ever given myself. If I would have been ruled by that number, and so many people are, how many pounds I've lost since I've had the surgery, how many this and this and this and this, I've gained this much since surgery. It's not about the number for me. If it was, I'd have that obsession. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I lost a quick 5-something pounds just in skin and tissue alone. But I'm also not moving much. There's like a high likelihood I'm going to gain 5 pounds in the thing. It's going to wash out at some point. But I'm happy that I'm able to do what I'm able to do. And I'm happy that I continue to push my limits, but in the most nurturing and supportive and small way. Because that's where success is born. I've learned it. I've learned that when I do too much at once, I set myself back. And that means tomorrow I may not be able to move. And so I'd rather to have slow, consistent growth versus this roller coaster ride. Because it's really hard sometimes. The highs are high and they're great, but the lows are low. And it's hard to get back on that ride when you see how far you have to go. So being able to take this slow, consistent, steady move is great. So if there's something that you can go back and look upon, I mean, even a childhood photo, that shows you how far you've come. If there's something in your work or in your personal life or in your fitness goals, look at where you began and where you are now and celebrate that. Be proud of yourself. Yes, we may not be at the ideal of everything, but you are exactly where you are today and exactly where you're meant to be. So please, please, please go today. Look yourself in the mirror, in your cell phone, flap down that rearview mirror, whatever it is, and give yourself a big smile. I'm going to give myself a big smile. And then I would love for you to do this. I know it sounds crazy, but it's exactly what you need, because sometimes in life, we don't hear anything good about ourselves. We don't hear anything good like through our own selves. Like, we are not saying nice enough things to ourselves. Like I said, I admit it. I was my number one bully, and now I'm my number one believer. I'm my number one fan, and I'm so proud of myself. So today, I am going to say, I am so stinking proud, Natasha, of your resilience. I am so proud that even though you have the opportunity and the excuse and the reason to lay your butt in this recliner all dang day, you don't. And you didn't. And I'm really proud of you for that. And it wasn't easy. And there were moments that you were in pain and wanted to cry, or there were moments that you felt like you wanted to give up, but you didn't, and you went through it. So I'm so proud of your resilience today. And then I, for you, would love if you could go out there and please share, because maybe they're not where you are in your journey, and maybe your smile and your compliment is just the thing that someone else needs to start their own. So please go out there and give somebody else a big smile, give them a compliment, and just watch how you both glow up. So thank you. Bye.